Hi, my name is Chanel Barksdale.
And I'm Jayla Barksdale.
Jayla, let's talk a little bit about a tough subject. So our family experienced loss in 2017. Prior to that, Jayla experienced loss of her father in December of 2013. Jayla, can you talk a little bit about that experience and some of the things that we did to help you navigate your grief?
Okay. So that experience, it was really rough, especially the first year or so. He had been sick for the past few years. Yeah. So it's kind of, my family, we've all prepared ourselves for the fact that he didn't have a long life ahead of him, but it was still just a shock of the fact that happened then. You're never really ready for it at that moment. But I always, even my other friends that dealt with grief on campus, because I do have a friend that's lost her mother young too, I always highlight one thing my mom did that was great to me was that she didn't try to say she understood how I felt. She didn't try to just say, I'll make it better. That she realized, I don't understand how you felt, because my pawpaw is still here. Right. And it wasn't just much about fixing me, but helping me realize how to accept and cope with what happened, to help me be able to move on in life, because that is the hardest part of it. So I think that's part of our communication. That's what really helped it, because she realized how to talk to me in that way, and that was what was best for me. So,
that's really interesting that you said that, Jayla, because I thought at that moment I really wasn't quite sure what to do, because like Jayla just referenced, her papa, my father, he's still living, and we're so thankful for that. So I couldn't tell her I knew how she felt, because I didn't. And so I just wanted to create a space for her to be able to grieve. And I was also honest with her about my own grief, that I too missed her dad. And that if there was a moment, I don't know if you recall this, you were upstairs and I was in the kitchen and you heard me and you came downstairs and I was in the kitchen crying. And do you remember that? Mm-hmm. And so she was like, Mommy, what's wrong? And I was trying to be normal and trying to go about my day, and I just got struck with missing him. And so I expressed that to Jayla, that, you know what, I miss your dad right now. And so she held me and I held her. She started crying too. And so it was that moment to let her know that there isn't a clock or a window on grief, that there can be triggers and moments that come. And maybe share a little bit about the time when I came to pick you up from school.
Well, one thing was my father. He was a veteran for the U.S. military. And for Key Club at school I was on the executive board for, we did a Veterans Day activity where they were writing letters to veterans. And at first I was okay. And then it really kind of hit me again that it was like, this could have been like my dad versus one, but like these all these people there, and I just realized that was who he was, and that like they could have been writing to him. That's what I'd say like triggered the grief again. And that's why I was glad to have my best friend that was there, so that she knew what was going on. I was like, okay, we could take a moment, because no one's really prepared. So then I just kind of called my mom, and she came for me.
So I think as tough as, and I'm sorry to bring that up, but it's okay, because all those moments and those teardrops lets us know that there are releases in the price we pay for loving someone. And so it really is okay. In that moment, I got the phone call because I prepared to school to be aware that Jayla had lost her father, and we set up a plan. And so as soon as I got that call, I was actually in another town working, and I was about 45 minutes away. Got there in about 30 minutes. Hallelujah. And so I got her and we came home. We didn't have to talk about anything. We just got in our PJs and we sat in our TV room and we just watched movies. And there were a couple moments where she laughed. There was a few moments where she cried, and I just let it happen. We had junk food. We just vegged out because that's just all she needed. She needed to be able to escape, and she needed normalcy. And so that's what I wanted to create for her. I think another important thing for us to talk about in grief is how you remember the person. And so, Jayla, let's talk about what we've done to help remember those who we've lost.
Okay. Well, early on, in the beginning, like the first few months after my dad had passed, one thing that mom did was she gave me the engagement ring that he gave to her. And this, I guess you could tell the story of that, what happened there.
Well, we were doing in my family a love weight ceremony for Jayla. She was turning 16. And so my family was going to be here. And so my dad had purchased a ring for Jayla. And so I told Jayla's father about it. And he was like, no, I want her to have the ring that I gave you. And so I will be very transparent. I was against the idea. I said, oh, great. We're going to give our daughter the symbol of our failed love. So those who don't know me that well, I can be pretty sarcastic at times. And so he says, no. He said, you're thinking about it wrong. When I gave you that ring, I gave that ring to you because I love you. And our daughter was produced from the love I have for you. And so he said, that's the symbol of that ring for me, and I would love for her to have it. So I did make a decision at that time because, he was still with us. It was earlier on in December. And so when he passed away later that month, I knew the right thing to do would to be to honor his desire and to give Jayla that ring. Mm-hmm. And so she wears it often.
Mm-hmm. I do wear it a lot. First, I wore it every day. Basically day and night. I kept this on, and I just had it on this chain, just wear it with everything. But people always ask, "Oh, what's this?" It's like, it's my parents' engagement ring. I'm like, what? I was like, I had to go into the explain what happened. But then I think it was the first year
you graduated.
Oh, when I graduated, my mom, the gift from her was the necklace that has his signature in it. And to wear when I walked stage, so he kind of would be with me in that moment. So then I switched to wearing this more, since it is day. I usually do wear silver jewelry, like since my earring and all that. So I wore this, and I always wear this one additionally. Again, I always have either one of these on at times. And then for one of the anniversaries of his passing, my mom got me this necklace that I wear with this one in conjunction, just kind of to highlight it, and I have matching earrings to it too. So that's how I keep him alive.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things that you can have that's a tangible representation that allows you to have those wonderful thoughts about the person and the impact that they had on your life. And it's October of 2017, our mother went on to be with the Lord. And so my sisters and I have her name that is also built into a necklace. It's her signature. And so my mother has a beautiful handwriting and a beautiful signature. And so she was really gifted at sending cards and sending little notes to let her, that she was thinking about you. And so if anyone has received gifts and cards from me, little notes in the mail, that's really the hand of my mother living and speaking through me. And so I also have a bracelet. It has the letter D to represent my sister's initial. Her name is Judy, but she preferred to go by Denise, and she passed away in July of last year. And so my sisters and I have this bracelet that we wear also to just have something tangible as a memory and to commemorate their love in our lives. And so one of the things that we have learned is that when you have someone that you've loved and they're no longer in the world with you, the price that you do pay for loving them is the grief that you will experience. It is okay to cry. It is okay to be angry. It is okay to be upset and all those things and all the moods and all the swings that go along with grief. It's also okay to laugh. And it's okay to have these wonderful memories. One of the things Dale and I did was we watched this episode of Worst Cooks in America. And it was this person who had made this dish that made them choke. And for whatever reason, Jayla's dad got so tickled when we watched that. And so we'll watch that periodically and we can go back to the moment. And anyone who knew him, he was quite a character and he could make these really hilarious statements of whatever he was watching or whatever he was experiencing. And so he was laughing. He said his whole soul hurts when he was gagging over his food. And so it's those kind of experiences and memories that you have that you just keep active and alive, and you recognize that their assignment for your life is continuing, and that it's bringing you laughter and joy.